I don't normally cover gangster rap on this channel, but you're going to want to hear this. This story has broader implications, including a blackmail ring in Hollywood. We're going to talk about the lawsuit against the rapper P Diddy. I want to put in context how scary this story is. Candace Owens was covering this lawsuit on her podcast, and last week she announced that she's no longer going to cover this story because she's too scared. Now, I don't know if you're familiar with Candace Owens, but she doesn't back down from anybody. So if she is backing away from this story, there's something pretty intense going on, and I don't blame her. She's a new mother, and she needs to take care of her family. What is this lawsuit about? Sean Combs has been a rapper and music executive for decades. He is also known as Puff Daddy, Puffy, P Diddy, among other names. He was sued by one of his music producers named Rodney Jones, or Lil Rod. Lil Rod has sued Puffy for a long list of crimes against him during his employment. Let me say up front that these are allegations. We don't know if these are true or not. Puffy's lawyer has given a statement saying that all the allegations in this lawsuit are lies. I want to go through the evidence, and then you can decide for yourselves. In September 2022, not that long ago, there was a shooting at a recording studio. Lil Rod claims Puffy and his son went into the bathroom with another man, and there were gunshots. Lil Rod then entered the bathroom to find the man bleeding out on the floor. Here are photographs of the blood in the bathroom. Lil Rod claims to still have the bloody clothes he was wearing. Puffy and his son left the bathroom through a crowd of witnesses and went to another part of the building. Lil Rod brought the dying man to an ambulance at the front of the studio. The man was taken to the hospital in stable condition. The police arrived, and Lil Rod claims that Puffy forced him to lie to the police and say that the man was shot in a drive-by shooting at the front of the studio. The police accepted that explanation, and the press repeated that story. According to Lil Rod, Puffy got away with shooting someone in front of a crowd of witnesses. Lil Rod then claims Puffy repeatedly sexually harassed him by grabbing his butt and his genitals. Puffy would force Lil Rod to work in his bathroom while Puffy would walk around naked and take showers. Puffy would try to convince Lil Rod to engage in gay sex acts, and Puffy gave Lil Rod gay porn. Lil Rod has produced screenshots, which I'm not going to show on this video. One of the most shocking statements of the lawsuit is this one. Puffy informed Lil Rod that he had engaged in sexual intercourse with rapper blank, R&B singer blank, and Stevie J. This is claiming that Puffy is gay and is sleeping with the artists he is working with. The whole internet is wondering, who are the redacted names? The lawsuit contains a footnote. One of the redactions is a Philadelphia rapper who dated Nicki Minaj. The second performed at the Super Bowl and had a successful Vegas residency. Now, I don't know what you know about Nicki Minaj, but she's known to have slept with a large number of men. So narrowing it down to one guy is going to be difficult. Many people on the internet think the redaction refers to rapper Meek Mill, although this would be difficult to confirm. The second name is easier to narrow down and is most likely referring to Usher, an artist that Puffy raised as a child and has worked with closely. Here is Usher performing at the Super Bowl. Lil Rod also claims he was forced to carry around illegal drugs in order to have them ready for when Puffy wanted to take them. Lil Rod also claims that Puffy forced him to solicit prostitutes for parties. He claims to have videos of Puffy's sex parties with underage girls. Here's a photo of Puffy kissing an underage girl at a party. Lil Rod claims that Puffy forced the women to drink liquor that Puffy had laced with drugs. At one of these parties, Lil Rod claims that he himself was drugged and woke up in bed with Puffy and two sex workers. At another party, Little Rod claims that he was with Academy Award-winning actor Cuba Gooding Jr. Little Rod claims that Cuba Gooding Jr. made gay sexual advances and groped him. Here's a photo of Cuba Gooding Jr. groping Little Rod. Like most lawsuits, this lawsuit comes down to money. Little Rod worked on 9 songs for Puffy. Little Rod was asking for $50,000 for his work. Puffy only paid him $29,000. Little Rod is angry he did not receive the additional $21,000. Now I have to stop here and say that Puffy is a real idiot. Puffy's estimated net worth is somewhere around $1 billion. Forbes magazine claims that he made $90 million in 2022. If Puffy is making $90 million a year, just pay the guy his $21,000. I don't know why Puffy is not paying his musicians, but it's really stupid. Now, everyone is talking about this lawsuit, and it would have been a lot smarter just to pay the guy. The big problem for Puffy is that this lawsuit confirms rumors that have been circulating for some time that Puffy is gay and has been abusing people in the music industry. Old video clips have been resurfacing to support these claims. I'm going to show you a video of Puffy with a rapper called Birdman. Here, Puffy kisses Birdman on the head.
You know how you have, I'm like Kennedy, you feel me? He like Clinton. I was the president, but shit.
He the man, though. That's OG there. I'm just
check this out.
I don't know about you, but this seems kind of gay. If you're hanging out with your bros, playing basketball or whatever, do you stop to kiss them on the head? I have some really good friends, and we've never done that. Here is Puffy on a famous radio show called The Breakfast Club. The interviewer, Charlemagne, asks Puffy about a clip of him talking.
They made a compilation video of you because they said you were sounding real suspect on the interview.
Yeah.
I like when you like this, Daddy.
Where you put my bag?
Daddy, I like when you scrambling and scraping for shit.
No.
That was you.
Scrambling.
What? You said, I like when you do it like that, Daddy, when you scrambling and scraping for shit.
Hey, man.
He's like, I don't know what I was.
Why would Puffy call someone daddy? Does that seem kind of gay? I love the look on the interviewer. He's thinking, what? Let me ask you this. Do you go around calling people daddy? It turns out this is a pattern. Remember before when I mentioned the rapper Meek Mill? Here is Puffy hanging out with Meek Mill at the pool where he calls him daddy.
Hey, son. Man, you doing it, man. You deserve it, Daddy. You putting in that work. Proud of you. I love you. Yeah.
I will repeat in case you missed it. Puffy says, man, you deserve it, Daddy. You putting in that work. I'm proud of you. I love you. Now let me ask you another question. When you are hanging out with your bros at the pool, do you call each other daddy? I didn't realize being a gangster rapper was so gay. Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with being gay, but these are people who pretend not to be gay, which is a little hypocritical. If Puffy wants to be gay, he should just be gay. And second, it seems like there's a pattern of abuse going on. This is not just about being gay. This is about forcing other people to be gay in order to work in the music industry. That is abuse. Then there's another clip where Kevin Hart is working as an announcer at a party at Puffy's house.
No, check this out. No homo. No homo. Come here, man. Hey, yo. Kevin, come here. No homo. We're going to have a contest. You know we're going to have a contest. We're going to get our breath first because your breath be stinking sometimes. And we're going to go back and forth. Uh-oh.
They're going to share the same bottle of Listerine. I don't know if that's gay, but it's certainly not sanitary.
We want to thank you. Come here. Don't sit on the bed at night. No homo. No, just don't get close to the bed. Don't get close. But it's just like, yo, we want to thank you for hosting the thing, man. It's been a pleasure. You didn't have to do it, and you did it.
No. I definitely didn't have to do it. I definitely didn't have to. First and foremost, I'm not getting in the bed.
Shout out to him and what he did. I'm just gonna, if we can, let's just put the camera a little this way, just so we're not. I don't want my shot to even, I don't want it to come close to the bed at all.
Kevin Hart seems really nervous here. Why is that? Then Usher shows up at the party, and Puffy says something really strange.
That's my brother right here from day one. We used to wake up and, pause, but like just back in the days when he was like 10 and I was a little bit older, his older brother, we used to fight over the Frosted Flakes. You know what I'm saying? Before pause was invented. You know what I'm saying? But it's my brother for real. We used to actually wrestle off of the Frosted Flakes because he used to always get up early with me. Now he's one of the richest stars in the world. And
What the fuck did Puff just say? Nobody's gonna acknowledge this but me. Puff just said we used to wrestle over the Frosted Flakes. And we're streaming live. That was stupid. Listen, that was fucking stupid. Listen,
having a good time.
So when Usher was 10 years old, Puffy used to wrestle with him? Someone please tell me that I'm not the only one who thinks this is strange behavior. Even Kevin Hart is calling him out in the video. Remember that Lil Rod's allegation is that Puffy told him that Puffy had gay sex with Usher, who was the child he raised. Then there are the clips with Justin Bieber. People have been calling these out for a while as concerning. Justin Bieber became famous when he released his first album when he was 16 years old in 2009. Guess who Justin Bieber first signed with? Usher. Listen to this clip of Justin Bieber with Puffy.
Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives, like where we hanging out and what we doing. We can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream. I have been given custody of him. He signed to Usher.
I'm signed to Usher.
I had legal guardianship of Usher when he did his first album. I did Usher's first album. I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me. So and we gonna go full crazy.
We're going crazy.
Crazy.
Excuse me? What are they talking about? It gets more strange. Here's another clip with Justin Bieber and Puffy from 1 year later. I want you to listen closely. Puffy is going to ask Justin why they do not hang out anymore. Ask yourself, why would this grown man be trying to hang out with this underage kid? And watch Justin Bieber's response. Does he look scared to you?
All right, young brother, everything's good? Selling out arenas and everything? Starting to act different, huh? You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
Well, you try to get in contact with me, through all my, partners and whatnot. Mm-hmm. But you never really got my number, so.
Right, okay.
My number?
Yeah.
In the video, they laughed this off as a joke, but I'm not the first person to think this was strange. Justin Bieber is now 30 years old. As he's gotten older, he has struggled with mental illness, drug addiction, and health problems. With these new allegations, you have to wonder, are Justin Bieber's struggles caused by abuse from P Diddy when he was younger? I'm actually interested. If there's anyone watching who has dealt with abuse victims, is Justin Bieber's body language consistent with someone who has experienced abuse? Let me know in the comments. But the lawsuit goes on to talk about Jennifer Lopez. Jennifer used to be known as Jenny from the Block, and she used to date Puffy. Lil Rod claims in the lawsuit that Jennifer Lopez was involved in a shooting in a club in 1999. Jennifer Lopez snuck the gun into the club to give it to Puffy, who was responsible for the shooting. Puffy confessed all of this to Lil Rod, and then Puffy used it to threaten Lil Rod to do what Puffy wanted. Jennifer Lopez claims that she broke up with Puffy because he cheated on her. But I wonder if she broke up with him because he involved her in a shooting. Puffy also had a head of security named Faheem Muhammad. Puffy claimed that Faheem Muhammad could make people and problems disappear. Allegedly, Faheem Muhammad had contacts in the LAPD and Miami PD that he could control. People have also noticed that Faheem Muhammad also just happens to have been the head of security for Michael Jackson when he died. The official story is that Michael Jackson died of an accidental drug overdose. However, Michael Jackson's family believes that he was murdered. Michael Jackson died in 2009, and Faheem Muhammad had only started working for him 10 months prior to his death. Here is him testifying at Michael Jackson's wrongful death trial.
In June of 2009, at that point in time, how long had you worked security for Mr. Jackson?
Approximately 10 months.
Okay.
If this guy seems young, he is. He had just started working for Michael Jackson after graduating from college. Doesn't that seem a little strange? Why would someone so young be working security for the king of pop? And isn't it strange that he was involved with Michael Jackson's suspicious death, and now he is involved in a shooting with Puffy? Why do all these deaths keep happening when this guy is head of security? He doesn't seem to be very good at his job if all these people keep dying. One of the most disturbing allegations is that Puffy's homes have hidden cameras in every room. He would record people having sex with underage children during his house parties, and then use the footage to blackmail people in the music industry. This sounds shockingly similar to the tactics that were used by Jeffrey Epstein. These activities allegedly go all the way up to someone named Lucian Grange, the CEO of Universal Music Group, one of the most powerful music companies in the world. Lucian Grange would come visit Puffy in California and Florida, and they would spend hours together alone in Puffy's bedroom. Out of all of the rooms in the house that they could use, why would they use the bedroom? What were they doing in there? The hidden cameras become especially concerning when you consider how active Puffy is with the Democrat Party. Here is Puffy with Barack Obama at the 2004 Democratic National Convention.
Introduce yourself again for me, sir.
I'm Barack Obama. I'm the U.S. Senate candidate from the state of Illinois.
Okay. And you becoming a black Democratic senator, this is a big deal. This is a big deal.
Well, absolutely. You know, we've got 100 U.S. senators from across the country, and right now not one is African American.
Puffy was investigated in 2004 by the Federal Election Commission because he undertook an illegal campaign. Puffy started a Get Out the Vote organization he was claiming was nonpartisan. But then Puffy was clearly publicly campaigning for the Democrat Party. Then, at a 2008 Music Awards ceremony, Puffy yelled out, "Obama or die." Puffy also funded a voter turnout campaign to try and defeat Donald Trump during the 2020 elections. Listen to what he has to say about Donald Trump.
White men like Trump need to be banished. That way of thinking is real dangerous. This man literally threatened the lives of us and our families about going to vote.
Stand back and stand by.
Stand back and stand by.
Yeah.
We're in a war. We're not taking this like it's a war. We're taking this like, oh, we're in a presidential election. No, we're in a war of love versus hate.
In case you didn't catch that, Puffy did not consider 2020 an election. He considered it a war. Given how close Puffy is with the Democrats, we have to ask the question, how many Democrat politicians have been at Puffy's house? How many of those politicians are captured on those hidden cameras? Then the real question, is Puffy blackmailing any of those politicians? Now, you might think this is some crazy conspiracy theory, but just listen to this interview that Puffy gave during the 2020 election with supermodel Naomi Campbell.
Biden needs to make it clear that he's going to change the lives and quality of life of black and brown people, or else he can't get the vote. And I will hold the vote hostage if I have to.
You said it here, said it first.
Puffy says, I will hold the vote hostage if I have to. This sounds like a threat. What is he talking about? If Joe Biden does not do what Puffy wants, does he have some blackmail on him? Does Puffy have blackmail on Obama? Who is on those hidden cameras? Remember that Jeffrey Epstein had blackmail and now he's dead. What if this lawsuit against Puffy is a way to neutralize the blackmail he's holding on some very powerful people? This lawsuit contains a lot of allegations against Puffy. RICO charges, mail fraud, wire fraud, sexual assault, trafficking, among others. Here's the problem with the lawsuit. Little Rod was involved in a lot of serious crimes. The timeline's important here. Little Rod started working for Puffy in September 2022. The shooting at the studio happened the first month he started working. Why did he stay? He worked for Puffy for over a year. If Little Rod witnessed a shooting and Puffy forced him to lie to the police, why would he stay? If this happened to you and a shooting happened on your first month on the job, would you stay? I wouldn't. In this document, Little Rod admits to being involved in multiple crimes. Just to start with, lying to the police to cover up a shooting is a crime. He admits to it. That makes him an accomplice. It doesn't matter if Puffy forced him or not. The moment he lied to the police, he became part of the crime. He could have pulled the cops aside and said, "Hey guys, Puffy's telling me to lie to you." But he didn't do that. If Little Rod comes back later and changes his story, he loses all his credibility. Now, Little Rod is in the horrible position of having admitted guilt in a shooting. All Puffy has to do is deny the allegations. Why would someone believe the word of an admitted criminal? All the other witnesses at the music studio are going to support Puffy because they all lied to the police too. The police are even going to side with Puffy because they're not going to want to look corrupt. The shooting is just the start. There are so many horrible crimes in this document that Little Rod has admitted to taking part in. Drugging underage girls in order to have sex with them is a serious crime. Even if Little Rod was forced to participate in these parties against his will, he still helped put them on. He could have just left. Just to speak personally, I've talked about this before. I worked in Hollywood for many years. I was an assistant producer at a small movie studio, and I went to a lot of parties. Some of them had some sketchy things going on. But you know what I would do? If I ever saw anything sketchy going on, I would just leave the party. It's as simple as that. Now, that might be one of the reasons why I never became rich and famous. But you know what? I can sleep at night, and that's good enough for me. You just don't have to stay at the party. Little Rod could have left at any time, but he didn't. So he bears responsibility for some of these crimes. Just like Puffy is an idiot for not paying Little Rod, I also think Little Rod also made a mistake in filing this lawsuit. I think Little Rod is going to jail for the things that he admitted in this document. For a fight with Puffy over $21,000, going to jail is not worth it. However, I actually believe Little Rod's story, but it doesn't really matter because the lawsuit is not going to end well for him. Because he lied to the police, he's not going to win the lawsuit. I don't think Puffy is going to pay a dime. Here's what I think is happening. Little Rod mentions in the lawsuit that he's a Christian. It's probably eating him up inside that he participated in a shooting. I think he's also scared of being killed himself. And if he's going to die, he probably wants to give a confession before he dies. That's what I think he's doing in this lawsuit. I want to show you one of the scariest parts of the lawsuit. Puffy funded and used his affiliation with local gangs and gang leaders who would frequent his homes in LA and Miami to secure the drugs and guns he obtained and distributed out of his homes in LA and Miami. There's a footnote for this section that reads, "Plaintiff has intentionally left the names and images of these individuals out of the pleading out of fear of retaliation." Out of all the people named in this lawsuit, Little Rod is so scared of the gangs that he would not name them in the document. That shows how serious this threat is. Honestly, I was worried about making this video. If these allegations are true, if someone makes Puffy mad, he can murder someone in a crowd of people and no one will turn him in, and the police aren't going to do anything about it. That's scary. But even with all of the danger, I think this video is worth making. If these allegations are true, that means there's a blackmail ring in Hollywood taking advantage of underage kids. Since Little Rod has so much to lose from making a confession, I personally believe him. And I hope that people consider these allegations before they purchase another rap song by Puffy. Now I want to hear from you. Do you think that there's a blackmail ring in Hollywood? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you liked the video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on future videos. If you like these videos, consider signing up for a monthly membership on my website, wolvesandfinance.com. For $6 a month, you help me to keep putting out these videos. I'm Zach from Wolves and Finance. Thank you for watching.